Hi everyone. So in the last session, we have discussed about the overview of Salesforce and the various of features offered by Salesforce, and we have discussed about the Salesforce CRM user interface overview and how the look and feel of our Salesforce account and what features are available, what kind of various additional communities, app exchange features has been offered by Salesforce we have discussed. Now, so in today's session, we'll see the tabs and the objects. So we'll see what exactly a tab and what exactly an object, how these are associated with each other, and what tabs has been given by Salesforce, we'll see practically, and how can we customize those tabs to be get visible on the user interface, we'll see practically. Now, so in our Salesforce instance, in the last session we have discussed about so many features which has been given by Salesforce, like the Lightning user interface and the applications offered by Salesforce, App Exchange, and the developer community, Trailblazer community, all these things we have discussed. So now we'll see the tab. So now these are the various tabs are available on my tab bar. So here we have a tab bar. So this is my tab bar that we have. Now on this tab bar, I'm having so many tabs are there, like the home tab and the charter tab, campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, forecast, contract, order. Like that, so many tabs are available. But not only these tabs, we have some more tabs are also available in our Salesforce instance. But it is unable to display all those tabs because there is no space. There is no space in this user interface. So because of the lack of the space on this user interface, it is unable to show all those tabs so that it is giving a plus symbol to you. Now this plus symbol is going to be representing all tabs. Okay, it is representing all tabs. Okay, it is representing all tabs. That means whatever the tabs has been given by Salesforce, we are unable to represent all the tabs on this tab bar because of the lack of the space. We have so many other tabs are also, but there is no space on this tab bar, so we are unable to show all these tabs. That's what here it is giving a plus symbol to you. The plus symbol is representing all tabs. If you want to see the remaining tabs available inside your Salesforce instance, just click on this plus symbol and then we can able to see those tabs. The flexibility is available. Then in this case, what do you mean by a tab? What exactly a tab? What it represents? And now let's see practically. Then how can we customize this tab bar? We'll see practically over here. Now, for example, over here, for example, assume that I have a table. Okay, assume that I'm having a table here. Assume that I have a table with the name some customer. So this is my table. In my customer table, I'm having some columns like as customer ID, customer name, and the phone number of the customer, and the email ID. So these are the columns are there inside my table. I'm having these columns. This is my customer table. That means object. So inside my table, I'm having so many columns are there. Like as customer ID column, name column, phone column, email ID column. So these are the columns are there inside my table. So once the table is ready, then what we can do inside this table, we can able to insert some records. Okay, we can insert some records. We can update the records inside this table. We can delete the records. We can view the records. And we can restore the records. Nothing but we can perform that and delete. So these are the operations we can perform on this table over here. So these are the various operations. Now in this case, in order to insert a record, then what needs to be done? We need to provide one user interface or not? Yes. Like for example, I want to provide one user interface. So this is a user interface here. I want to provide one user interface to insert the records. Like for example, to enter the customer ID, I'm providing one text box over here. Customer ID, customer name, phone number, email ID. So now these are the 4 text boxes I would like to have. To enter the customer ID, I'm providing one text box. And then to provide the customer name, I'm providing one more text box. For the contact number, I'm providing one more text box. And for the email ID, I'm providing one more text box. And then I'm providing a button, save button, and then cancel button. So these are the 2 buttons I would like to place on my user interface here. So these are the 2 buttons, save button and the cancel button. So that means what? In order to insert the record into my object, I'm providing one user interface. Okay, I'm providing a user interface over here. This is a user interface. So after entering some data inside this particular text boxes, once you click on save button, this record will be creating inside my table over here. So that in order to insert the record inside this table, we need some one user interface. Okay, we need a user interface. Now, like the similar way, I want to update the record. In order to update the record, we need one more user interface is required or not? Yes. And then to delete that record, one more user interface is required or not? Yes. To view the record, we need one more user interface or not? Yes. To restore the records, we need one more user interface or not? Yes. That means, in order to perform these operations, okay, in order to perform these operations here, we are going to be require various user interfaces. To insert the record, we require one user interface. To update the record, one user interface. To delete the record, one more user interface. To view the record, one more user interface. And then to undelete the record, we need another user interface. Now, so now here in this case here, we require the various user interfaces. For this one, to insert the record, one graphical user interface. And to update, one more graphical user interface. And for this one, for the delete, one more user interface. And for viewing the record, one more user interface. And to undelete the record, we need one more user interface. So these are the various graphical user interfaces are required in order to manage the records inside a single table. Now, in this case, the combination of all these user interfaces, the combination of all these user interfaces is called as a tab. Okay, the combination of all these user interfaces are called as tab. Where this object name is what? Customer. That means table name is customer. The tab name is Salesforce is using that plural format that is called as customers. Okay, that is called as customers. Then what do you mean by a tab now? Tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces. Okay, tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces in order to manage the records inside that object. Okay, in order to manage the records inside this object here. So whenever I'm having a table or an object, because here in general terminology we are calling it as a table, but in Salesforce we are calling it as object. So in order to manage the records inside this object, whatever the graphical user interfaces are required, all those graphical user interfaces will be provided by the Salesforce to you in terms of a tab. So that tab is a collection of graphical user interfaces, or else tab provides a set of user interfaces through which we can manage the records inside this object. Now, by using this tab, what we can do, we can insert some records into the table. We can modify some records from the table. We can delete some records from the table. We can view the records inside the table. We can restore the deleted records back to the table. All these operations we can able to perform. So now here in this case, when coming to my Salesforce instance, we are having so many objects are available that already we have discussed. As part of our sales cloud, as part of our service cloud concepts, we have discussed so many object names. Like as campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, order, contract, quote, like there's so many objects we have discussed. So for every object, Salesforce is providing a separated tab. Okay, for every object, Salesforce is providing a separate tab. So now here in this case, Salesforce is following a notation. My object name is customer simply. Nothing but it's a singular format. Okay, it's a singular format here. But my tab name is what? Customers, nothing but plural format. Why they're following like as a plural format here? Now tell me, by using this user interface, okay, by using this user interface, how many records can I insert here? Multiple. So initially I will enter some data inside this user interface fields. When I click on save button, one record will be getting inserted here. After that, I will open this user interface again. I will enter some more details, click on save button. One more record will be created. I will enter some more details, one more record. Like that here, how many records we can create? Multiple records. So inside a single table, we can create multiple records by using these user interfaces so that they have given that tab name as plural. So that always object names are singular and the tab names are plural. This is the format following by Salesforce. Okay. So now here in this case, when coming to the tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces which are used to manage the records inside that associated object here. Okay. Now here in this case here, when coming to that Salesforce, we are having so many objects are available here. Okay, we are having so many objects are available. For every object, Salesforce is providing a separate tab where the object name is in the singular format and the tab name is in the plural format. This is a functionality. This is a notations following with Salesforce over here. In this case, for every object, Salesforce provides a separate tab. Like for example, assume that I'm having some object names and the tab names. So now as part of this object name, I'm having the object called as campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, order, contract, quote, product. Like that here, we are having so many objects are available. So in this case, for each and every object, Salesforce is providing a separated tab over here. Okay, Salesforce is providing a separated tab over here. Salesforce is providing a separated tab where object name will be in the singular format and the tab name is in the plural format. For the campaign, they're providing a tab called as campaigns. For the lead object, leads tab. Account object, accounts tab. Contact object, contacts tab. Opportunity object, opportunities tab. Case object, cases tab. Solution object, solutions tab. Order object, orders. Like as contracts, quotes, products. Like that here Salesforce is providing the various tabs. By using these tabs, I'm able to manage the records inside my organization.
Because it's in plural format. Is it because it can store multiple records? That's why it's called in plural. Like
Yeah,
for instance,
that's it. Yeah, because by using this user interface, we can create some multiple records. We can modify some multiple records also. We can delete some multiple records which are not required. We can see all the records. That's what here they are going to be using this plural format notation for the tabs. Okay. Now, so now here in this case here. So by using this campaigns tab, we can manage the records inside our campaign object. That means we can create some new campaign records. We can modify some campaign records. We can delete some campaign records. We can view the campaign records. We can restore the deleted campaign records. Everything we can perform. Like the similar way, by using this cases tab, we can able to create some new case record and we can modify the case records. We can delete the case records. We can view the case records. Everything we can perform all this operation. So that here, for each and every object, Salesforce is providing some set of. For each and every object, Salesforce is providing a separated tab. Now all these tabs are visible on your tab bar. When you go to the tab bar, you will be having all these tabs are available over here. Like we are having the home tab, charter tab, campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, forecasts, contract, orders. Like that, so many tabs are available here. So now here in this case here. So whatever the tabs are available on my tab bar, I would like to customize this. For example, as part of my daily activities, I'm not using all these tabs. For example, I'm using only few tabs as part of my daily activities here. Like I'm using campaigns, lead, account, contact, opportunity, case, and the solution. But the remaining objects I'm not using. For example, I'm not using forecast. Contracts I'm not using. Orders I'm not using. Charter I'm not using. In this case, can I remove these tabs from this user interface? Yes, there is a possibility. So now, whatever the features has been given by Salesforce, then all the features may not be required for me. Sometimes here my business is very, very small business. I don't want much features. So I don't want to display all these tabs on my tab bar because I'm not interacting with all these tabs every day. So in this case, whatever the features are required or whatever the tabs are required, which I'm going to be interacting as part of my daily activity inside my organization, only those tabs to be visible on the tab bar. And the remaining tabs, I would like to make it invisible from my tab. So then how can we customize these tabs on the tab bar? That means whatever the tabs are available on your tab bar, we can customize according to your business requirement. According to the business requirement, I would like to customize this tab bar over here. So that whatever the tabs are required for me, only those tabs I would like to make it visible on the tab bar, and the remaining tabs I don't want to make it visible on that. So that we can customize the tabs available on the tab bar also. Then how can we customize these tabs over here? Now let's see practically. That means I don't want to display these tabs on my tab bar. I want to remove this one. Removing the tabs means not removing the functionality from the application. Feature these tabs will be there, but just I'm hiding from the display purpose. That's it. I'm not removing from my organization, just I'm hiding from the display purpose over here. Now, then how can we do that? How to customize these tabs? Now let's see practically in this case here. Now, upon customizing these tabs, we have to follow a notation over here. In order to customize the tabs, we have to follow some notation. So for that one, just to go to the tab bar and then click on plus symbol. go to the tab bar, and then at the last you will be having a plus symbol. Plus symbol represents means what? All tabs. Plus symbol represents all tabs. Plus symbol represents all tabs. So go to the tab bar and then click on plus symbol. And then click on customize my tabs button. And then customize my tabs button. Then it will display all the tabs are available inside your organization. So that select the required tabs. Select the required tabs to be visible on the tab bar by using add or remove buttons. By using this add or remove buttons, select the tabs which you want to make it visible. And then arrange the tabs in the required order by using up or down navigation buttons. So because here sometimes the customers or my business people are very, very specific to the order. I want account tab, beside that I want case tab. Because here they're very, very specific to the order. Even though the tab is there in different place on the tab bar, they won't accept. I want account, beside that I want case. Or I want account, beside that I want opportunity. Like that, they will be very, very specific to the order, so that we can customize the order also here by using up and down navigation buttons. And then click on save button. That's it. So this is the navigation process we are going to be using in order to customize the tabs on the tab bar. So in this case, just we have to go to the tab bar and then click on plus symbol, which is going to be representing the all tabs. So we can see those tabs. And then there is a button called as customize my tabs button, and then click on this button and select the tabs to be get visible on the tab bar. And then we can arrange the tabs in the required order, and then you can make the changes to be get saved into the database. Now, let's see practically how can we do that. So now go to your Salesforce instance, click on this plus symbol in order to customize these tabs over here. Click on plus symbol. Now here it is providing a small button called as customize my tabs button. Okay, there is a button called as customize my tabs button. Click on this button, customize my tabs, because it is providing all these tabs. These are the various tabs are available inside my organization. So these are the various tabs are available inside my organization. Not only those tabs which are visible on the tab bar, we have so many tabs are available, but all these tabs we can't represent on the tab bar because we don't have that much of space. So now, because of the lack of the space, we are unable to show all these tabs on the tab bar. So in this case here, if you want to customize those tab bar, then we can customize. So click on this customize my tabs button. Now it is providing all the tabs, okay, which are available for your organization. These are the tabs are available, and these are the tabs are currently selected here. Okay, these are tabs are currently visible. So now in this case, I don't want to show all these tabs. I want to remove some of this one because I don't want all. So that what are the tabs that you don't want, we can able to remove these tabs by using this add or remove button, and then we can arrange the order by using up and down navigation buttons as well. Now, I don't want the charter. I'm removing this one. Click on remove. Removing in the sense not removing from the application. Tab will be there, but just we are hiding from the display purpose because I want to make my user interface very, very simple. It should not be complex. It should be very simple for me, so that I would like to hide that tab from my tab bar. Now, and then I want to display the campaigns tab. Leads tab I want to display. Accounts, contacts, opportunities. But forecast I don't want. And the contact I don't want. Orders I don't want, so I'm removing these three. I want to show the cases and the solutions. And then products I don't want, reports I don't want, dashboards I don't want. So now remove this. So now here in this case, what are the tabs you want to make it visible? Only those tabs can be get selected over here. Remaining tabs you can remove. Suppose if the customer said that I want that case and solution to be get visible here, starting. After home tab, I want to display the case and solution. So that select these two tabs, click on up and down navigation button to move it up. So in order to move it up, then we can able to use that buttons here. If you want to move it down, then you can move it down. Wherever you want, we can able to place those tabs over here. Depends upon our requirement, we can arrange the tabs in the required order. Now click on save. So once you click on save, my tabs has been customized. So when you go to my user interface, now I'm able to see only these tabs over here. Okay, only these tabs are visible to me. Like I'm able to see that campaigns tab, leads, and then accounts, contacts, opportunities, cases, solutions. Remaining tabs are not visible to me here. So that according to the business requirement, we can able to customize the tabs also on my tab bar. Okay, now next one.
Because here is available in Lightning also.
Sorry?
This customization of tab is available on Lightning Experience also.
Yes. We'll be having that tab customization on the Lightning also. Okay. Now, next one. By using these tabs, what we can do, we can able to perform all the operation. What operations? DML operations. DML operations means what? Insertion, updation, deletion. We can view everything. We can perform all these operations here. So by using these tabs, what we can do, by using the tab, we can able to perform all the DML operations on that object over here. Okay, now I'm giving the notepad. By using the tab, we can perform all the DML operations on the associated object. Then what kind of DML operation? That is, we can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can undelete, and we can view the records. Up to this is the DML operations. Okay, and then view is a separate. Nothing but you just select one. We can view the records exist inside the object. Exist in the object. Then how can we create the records inside the object? How to update, how to delete, how to view, how to undelete, everything we see practically over here. Then, so now let's see practically here. How to insert the records inside this object here. Now, so now in this case that already we have discussed that tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces. The tab provides a collection of graphical user interfaces through which we can able to manage the records inside this object. For example, assume that I want to create an account record. That means I want to create one customer record. So in order to create or in order to manage that records, whatever the user interface are required, all are available as part of this tab. So just click on this tab over here. So once you click on this accounts tab, it is providing that user interfaces to you over here. Now, so when you click on this accounts tab, it is providing some user interface to me. This user interface is called as tab homepage. This is called as tab homepage. That means upon click on the tab, whatever the user interface, nothing but immediately whatever the user interface is visible, this user interface is called as tab homepage. In this tab homepage, in the left side, okay, in the left side, we are having a feature here, a small feature. Now this is a feature here. Now this feature is called as sidebar. Okay, this is called as sidebar. Okay, this is called as sidebar. So this is the sidebar component here. What this sidebar component represents, sidebar is going to be representing the recently performed actions. That means what records you have created recently, what records you have viewed recently, what record we have modified recently. Everything will be getting visible. Along with that, it is providing the recycle bin also. There is an option called as recycle bin. That means whenever I'm managing the record, unfortunately, by mistake, if I'm deleting any record, then there is a chance to restore that record back. So for that one, Salesforce is providing the recycle bin option. By using this recycle bin option, we can able to restore those records back to the actual object. That is, whenever I'm deleting any record will not be removing permanently from my Salesforce instance. Record will be deleted from my object. The record will be storing inside the recycle bin. Now, from the recycle bin, we can restore the record to the actual object as it is. The flexibility is there. For that one, inside this sidebar, it is going to providing the recycle bin option. It is providing the recently performed actions, along with it is providing the quick actions also. Directly, if you want to jump into some other operations, then we can able to jump by using this option itself. So that here, when coming to the sidebar provides the features to view the recently performed actions and the quick actions, and then we can able to use that the recycle bin option also. The flexibility is available as part of this sidebar. Now, this sidebar is occupying some space over here. Now, for example, I want to create the record inside my object here. In order to create the record here, once you go to this right side, you will be having this right panel. Here you will be having the operations. If you want to create a new account record, then just you can click on this new button. It is providing a user interface. So click on new button. So once you click on new button, it is providing the user interface over here. So this is the user interface which has been given by Salesforce to create a new account record inside this. So we have to enter the details over here. We can create the record. So now in this case here, so whenever I'm going to be creating the records by using this user interface, now this user interface is starting from this place. Okay, it is starting from this place here. No, this space I'm not using. Okay, this space I'm not using over here. Because of this sidebar component, sidebar is occupying some space over here. Because of that, my user interface is starting from this place here. So in this case, what happened? My user interface is looking like as a bit congested. So for that one, I don't want to make this sidebar to be get visible. I want to make it collapsible. That means I want to make this sidebar as a dockable component here. Okay, I want to make this sidebar as dockable. So what do you mean by dockable here? Now like this here. In the left to right side, you will be having a small option. Now this is called as a force.com quick accessment. Once you if you want this option, then you can expand it. If you don't want, we can make it collapse. So that we can make it expand, we can make it collapse. So upon needed, I will expand. Upon I don't want, I will collapse this one. So I want to make this sidebar also collapsible so that whenever the sidebar is required, I can expand that and I will use it. If I don't want this sidebar, I will make it collapse so that I can use this entire browser space in order to display my user interface without any confusions, without any congested spaces. So we can able to make my user interface to be get visible to my customers very clearly. So for that reason, I want to make this sidebar to be get collapsible. Then how to make the sidebar collapsible? Now let's see practically in this case here. So let's define that component sidebar. Sidebar is a component which represents all the recently performed actions all the recently performed actions, comma, quick actions, and recycle bin option. Recycle bin option. Now, by default, sidebar is visible on the left panel of the user interface. And then we can make the sidebar collapsible. As below. How can we make that sidebar collapsible? Now let's see practically in this case here. So in order to make that sidebar collapsible, we have to follow some navigation. What exactly the navigation? Now let's see here. So go to the setup menu. Okay, click on that setup menu over here, which is available on the top right corner. Click on setup menu on top right corner. And then click on build menu in the left panel. Click on customize and expand it. And then click on user interface link. Click on user interface link. In this one, go to the sidebar settings section. Go to the sidebar settings section, and then you can select the checkbox. Enable collapsible sidebar. And then save the changes. So this is the navigation process in order to customize the sidebar which we have on my user interface. So whatever the sidebar component that we have, I would like to customize this sidebar component over here, which is visible on my user interface. Now let's see how can we customize this sidebar and then how to make it as a collapsible component over here. Now, so let's go to your Salesforce instance. So now on the top right corner, we have an option called as setup. So now click on the setup menu on the top right corner. Now it is providing the user interface to you. Now it is providing that the setup menu in the left panel. When you come to the left side, you will be having that setup menu. Inside this setup menu, you will be having the administrator menu at the left panel over here. Along with that, when you come down, you will be having the build menu is available over here. So we are having the build menu. Inside that, we are having an option called as customize. There is an option called as customize. And then expand this customize option here. When you come to the last of the customize, you will be having an option called as user interface. At the last, there is an option called as user interface. So click on this user interface link. Okay, click on this user interface link. Now it will provide a user interface to you where you are having so many sections. Like as user interface section is available, and then when you come down, there is a section called as sidebar section. Okay, there is a section called as sidebar section. This is the sidebar section. In this sidebar section, there is a checkbox called as enable collapsible sidebar. So we need to select this checkbox over here. As of now, the checkbox is not yet selected. I want to make this side checkbox to be get selected. So select this checkbox, enable collapsible sidebar, and then save the changes here. Now click on save button. Once you click on save, automatically it will make that sidebar as collapsible. Okay, it will make that sidebar as collapsible for you. So that sidebar will not be visible to you directly. Sidebar is going to making as a collapsible over here. Now let's go to your account object over here. Click on accounts. Let's see what will happen in this case. Now let's see. Now sidebar is not visible over here. Previously, in the left panel, it is occupying some space by the sidebar. Up to this part, it is occupying by the sidebar over here. But now here in this case, there is no sidebar. Now the user interface is looking like as very clear. Then how can we get that sidebar over here? Sidebar is visible over here. So now see, there is an option called as to expand. If you want, we can expand this one. Okay, if you want, we can expand this one. If you don't want, we can collapse this one. Okay, depends upon our requirement. We can make it as expand and the collapsible option, so that we can able to make that sidebar as collapsible. Next one here. In this case, when coming to my user interface, I'm occupying the whole browser space, okay, for my application in order to manage the records inside this objects over here. Now, then how can we create the records inside my object over here? Now let's see. In order to create the records inside the objects, then click on new button to create a new account record. So now click on new button here. Once you click on new button, it is providing the user interface. So now the whole browser space has been occupied by my user interface. So here we have to enter some data inside these fields, like as account owner, account name, and the parent account, and the account number, account site, type of the account, industry type, annual revenue, rating value, phone number, fax number, website, ownership, billing address, shipping address. So many fields are available here. After entering some data inside these text boxes, when you click on save button, my record will be getting saved over here. Then what these text boxes represents over here, what these text boxes are representing basically, these are representing columns inside the account table. Okay, columns inside that account table here. Now, let me explain this concept here. Now, for example here, assume that I would like to create the record here. Okay, I would like to create the record where inside my customer table. Now, so in order to create the record inside my customer table, I would like to use a user interface. For example, this is the user interface I would like to use. Okay, assume that I am using this user interface. Okay. So in order to, I would like to use this user interface. To save the record, I'm using this button. To cancel the record, I'm using this button. So this is my user interface and this is my table. For example, I'm entering some data inside these text boxes here. In these text boxes, I'm entering some data to create some records here. Like I want to create one customer with the ID because 100001. And then I would like to enter the customer name, like as his name, some Ramesh P. Next, I'm entering some contact number here. Some contact number. I'm entering some email ID, like as some ram@some gmail.com. I've entered some email ID. So now, as soon as once you click on the save button, then what will happen? The record information will be getting saved. Where whatever the customer ID that have entered, now, when coming to the organization here, so now whatever the customer ID that have entered, this customer ID will be storing inside my customer ID column. And this name value will be storing inside the name column. Phone value will be storing inside the phone column. Email ID value will be storing inside that email ID column over here. That means what here, whatever the text boxes are representing inside my user interface, that each and every text box is associated with a column inside the table. That means what here, these text boxes are nothing but the columns inside the table over here. These are nothing but the columns inside the table over here. So these are nothing but the columns inside the table. Now, whatever the user interface that we have, in that user interface, whatever the text boxes are visible, each and every text box is nothing but a column inside the table over here. Okay, each and every text box is nothing but the column inside the table. Okay, now. So in this case here also, when you go to your user interface, it is representing so many text boxes. That means here account name, that means this is a column inside that account table. Parent account is a column. Account number is a column. Account site is a column. Type is a column. Industry column. Annual revenue column. Rating column. Phone. Fax. Website. Ownership. These are all our columns inside that account table here. So that whatever the text boxes are representing on your user interface, all those text boxes are representing the columns inside the table here. So now here in this case, when you verify these columns over here, now for one field text box, there is a red color bar symbol. What is this red color bar symbol represents? It is indicating this is a mandatory field. That means compulsorily we have to enter the value for this. Generally, when you go to some other programming languages or other technologies, to make the text box required, to make that column required, they are going to be using a red color star symbol. Red color star symbol is going to be representing this is a mandatory column. But now in Salesforce, they are going to be representing by using a red color bar symbol, which represent this column is a mandatory column. Okay, now. In this case, whenever if you want to create a new record, then we have to specify that the account name, and we have to enter some account number, site, type, industry, annual revenue, we can enter some data here. But upon creating the record, entering the data in all the fields are not required. Just by entering the account name itself, we can create the record also, because this is the only mandatory field, remaining all are optional fields. You may enter, you may not enter, it's up to you. The flexibility is there. So upon creating the record, entering the data in all the fields are not mandatory, these are optional. Based on your requirement, whatever the fields you would like to enter the data, then you can enter. Remaining fields you can make it as blank, you can make it as empty, no problem. That much of provision has been given by Salesforce to you by default. Now let's see. So in this case, how to create the records inside. This, for example, I want to create a new record inside my account table. So now I want to create that. For example, I'm giving that record name as, I'm giving some customer details here. I'm giving the customer details as some Merck Pharma. Okay, Merck Pharma Incorporation. This is my customer here. I'm giving some account number, some 1, 2, 3, 4, any number here. Account site, this is a pharmaceutical organization. Type, I'm giving some value, what type of customer he is. Okay, how did you got this customer? Now, customer direct. That means directly he has approached to us organization. Next, industry. What type of industry he is associated? I'm specifying this information. I would like to specify like as some chemical. It's a chemical organization. That means here it is a pharmaceutical. Now, I'm going to be giving this annual revenue. So now here you can raise a question. Sir, for example, in this industry, there is a options are available. Now, can I customize these options? Yes, everything we can customize. If you want to add some more industry names, then you can add. If you want to remove this existing industry, then you can remove. Everything is possible in Salesforce. All the possibilities are available here. I'm giving some annual revenue, like some 50 lakhs. Rating, I'm giving the value like some hot. Here you are having the 2-3 options are available: hot, warm, and the cold. Generally, for the rating, we are giving low, medium, high. Like the similar way, Salesforce is using different terminology. That's it. Hot means high, warm means medium, cold means low. That's it. Just the terminology difference here. So now you can raise a question, sir. For example, if I'm giving hot, warm, cold, my customer will get confused. They don't know what is hot, warm, cold. So I don't want these options. I want high, medium, low. Can I change this one? Yes, everything we can customize. We can remove these 3 options. We can add your own high, medium, cold, high, medium, low. We can add that. That flexibility is there. So for example, I'm giving some high rating for this customer because he is a valuable customer to my organization. So that I'm giving some heart rating. Phone number, I'm entering some value. And then, this is a phone number I have entered here. Next, the fax number. I have entered the fax number as well here. Next, the website. I'm giving that website www.somemerk.com. Ownership, I'm giving some private. This is a private organization. Number of employees, I'm giving like some 500. Next, billing address. I'm giving some billing address here. For example, I'm giving that billing address, some road number, some 36, some Banjara Hills. And the city, nothing but the postal code. I'm giving that postal code as some 500021. And then state, I'm giving the state as some Telangana. And the city, I'm giving like some Hyderabad. So, see the country I'm giving like as India here. And the street, I'm giving that value. So these are the values I have entered. Okay, I have entered the billing country, billing postal code, billing state, billing city, and the billing street. And then I'm giving some high priority to my customer. Customer priority, I'm giving like some high. And I would like to make this customer to be in active status. So that active status I'm selecting like as, yes, he's an active customer right now for me. So now here I'm entering all these details inside my text boxes here. But entering all the details are not mandatory. Just by entering the account name itself, we can create the record also. So once you enter all these details, then click on Save button. Automatically, your record will be creating inside your object over here. So Salesforce will create a new record with the details whatever we have specified. Okay. So this is the record which we have created right now with the name Sammark Pharma. This is the record which I have created. Now these are the details which I have entered. Because I have entered the account name and the account number value, site value, and then the type, industry, annual revenue, some $50 lakhs, and the billing address information, customer priority, active status, phone number, fax number, everything is available here. So now this is what we are using to create the records inside your Salesforce instance. So that just click on this respective tab, click on that new button, and then enter the details, click on save. So automatically record will be creating inside your object here. Like the similar way, if you want to create a new case record, click on this cases tab, because here, in order to manage the case records, we are using this user interfaces provided by the cases tab here. So click on this cases tab, click on the new button. Now it is providing the user interface to enter the details to create a new case record. You can specify the case subject, case description, okay, which product is giving that issue, and then you can specify the type of that problem, case reason, case status, case priority, how we are going to be raising that case, what is the case reason, everything we can enter, and then you can able to create the case record. Like the similar way, in order to create the records in the respective objects, okay, we have to use that respective tab. Okay, now, so now once you click on this accounts tab, now it is providing that account record whatever we have created. So this is the account record which I have created right now over here with the name Merck Pharma. Okay, this is the account record which I have created. Now, in this case, whatever the record I have created, now it is representing this record with the name and then billing city and the phone column. But not only these three columns, I want to show some more here. I want to show the account name. I want to show the rating value, industry, and then type, and then phone number, fax number, active status, and the city. I want to show some different columns inside this table. But here, by default, it is going to be displaying that. That means, whatever the records you have created recently, whatever the records you have modified recently, whatever the records we have viewed recently, all those records will be available inside the recent accounts section. So that in this recent accounts section, we can see the recently created, modified, and the viewed records in this place. So, all these records are getting visible, okay, in terms of by displaying that account name column, billing city, and the phone. So now I would like to customize the columns to be visible inside this section over here. Not only these three columns, some more columns I want to make it visible. Then how can we customize the recent records section? Now let's see practically over here. So now here in this case here, let's see the recent records section. Now, this section represents all the records created or viewed or edited recently. Okay, recently in the form of a tabular format. In the form of a tabular format. By default, it represents the records with some default columns. With some default columns in the table. Now, we can customize the table. We can customize the table by adding the required columns to be visible in the user interface. The user interface and below. That means by default it is showing that account name and the billing city and the phone number. But I don't want these three, I want some more. Then how can we customize this? For that one, how can we customize that? Click on the objects tab. For example, in my case, I would like to customize this accounts tabs recent records section. So that click on accounts. Next one, expand the force.com quick access menu. Expand the force.com quick access menu. Click on edit columns. Click on edit columns. Select the required columns to be visible by using add or remove buttons, and arrange the columns in the required order by using up or down navigation buttons. And then click on save. And then click on save button. So I would like to customize all these things over here. So I would like to display those some additional columns also in my table. Now let's see practically how can we do this. Now, so now here in this case here. Now go to that objects tab, nothing but the accounts tab. Expand this force.com quick access menu where it is available in the right side. Okay, in the right side there is a dockable option is available. expand this one. Here we have an option called as edit columns. Okay, there is an option called as edit columns over here. Click on this edit columns to edit the columns to be get visible inside this table over here. Click on this edit columns. Now it will be loading that user interface to us. Now here select the columns to be get visible, whatever you want. What columns you want to make it visible. By default, it is showing that only the account name, city, billing city, and the phone columns. Not only these columns I want to display somewhere, so that I'm removing these two. I would like to add whatever I want. I'm displaying that account name, and then I want to show the rating value. I want to show the industry column also. I want to show the annual revenue. I want to show the ownership of the record here. I want to show the phone number column. I want to show the fax number column. I want to show the active status column over here. So select this. So these are the columns I want to make it visible inside this user interface. Now, once you select these columns, then in order to arrange these columns in the required order, we can use this up and down navigation button. By using this up and down navigation button, we can able to arrange the columns in the required order. And then click on save. That's it. Done. So now we can able to see the columns information. Whatever the records we have created, we can see with the required columns. Click as account name, rating value, industry, annual revenue, ownership, phone, fax, active status, all these columns information we can able to see inside this table over here. So that keep on we can create some record, those records will be getting visible inside this tabular format automatically over here. Okay. So this is how we can able to customize the records inside my table over here. So once we create the record, then we can able to customize this columns to be get visible inside this table also according to my customer requirement. Next. Once the record has been getting created, can I remove this record? Yes. Okay. We can delete the records also. Then how can we remove the record over here? In order to remove the record, open the record first. That means click on this record here. Whatever the record you want to remove, just select that record. Click on that record name. Record will be getting open. So now here there is an option called as delete button. Okay, there is a button called as delete button, which is used to remove the record from that object here. In order to delete the record from the object, we have to use this delete button over here. Okay, to remove the record from this object, we have to use this delete button. Now, upon click on this delete button, it is asking for the confirmation. Do you want to remove this record or not? Now, yes, I want to delete that record here. So click on OK. Once you click on OK, so now it is going to be removing that record from my object here. So now from my table, that record has been removed. Then where this record will go, that already we have discussed that deleted records will be getting resets inside that recycle bin. So where is the recycle bin option? Inside that sidebar. So expand that sidebar. Here the record will be available. So go to the recycle bin here. Click on this recycle bin. Now it is displaying that record here. Now it is a common question in every interview or in every certification. Whatever the record I have deleted, record will go to the recycle bin. Okay, fine. Now, then how long time this record is there inside the recycle bin? Deleted records will be available inside the recycle bin for 15 days. 15. Okay, 15 days inside this recycle bin. Okay. So like when you go to your Gmail, deleted emails will be available inside the trash folder for 30 days. But in Salesforce, deleted records will be getting resides inside the recycle bin for 15 days, 15 days. Once the record is older than 15 days, okay, once that record is older than 15 days, automatically Salesforce will remove that record permanently from that Salesforce instance. From that object, it will remove the record permanently here. You can't get back that record again. We can't bring back those records back. So, within this 15 days of time, okay, once the record has been removed, from there, within the 15 days of time, at any point of time, we can restore that record back to the actual object. The flexibility is there. Then how can we restore that record back to the actual object? Just you can select that record which you want to restore, click on undelete button. There is a button called as undelete button which is used to restore that record back to the actual object. Now click on undelete. Now my record will be coming back to the actual object as it is. Now let's go to your accounts now. Now here I got my record back. So whatever the Merck Pharma record I have removed, my record is back right now here. Like that here, deleted records will be available inside the recycle bin for 15 days. Now, let me give that note point over here. Deleted records will get resides inside the recycle bin for 15 days. Once the records are older than 15 days inside the recycle bin, then Salesforce will remove the record permanently from the object without any prior notification. Without any prior notifications. Okay, this is how we can able to remove and we can restore that record here. Now, how to editing the records over here? How to modify? You know that concept. Simple. If you want to modify any of the record value, just you can open that record first, click on that record, and then here you will be having a button called as edit button. Click on this edit button. You can able to modify the value. What value you want to modify, you can change. For example, I'm changing the phone number value from this number to all are sevens. I'm entering the fax number to all are eights. I have entered all these values. Now click on save button. This is one way to modify the record over here. This is one way to modify. Now, the second way is Salesforce has given a feature called as inline editing feature. Okay, we can modify the record values by using the first one is edit button, second one is the inline editing feature. Okay, inline editing feature also. So what do you mean by this inline editing features? Now let's see practically in this case here. Now, in this case, suppose for example, I want to modify the annual revenue value. Assume that my user interface is very, very big. So many text boxes are there. Some hundreds of text boxes are there. So to modify that annual revenue value, nothing but to modify simply a single value, when I click on this edit button, it will move this entire user interface into the editable format. So if my internet connection is a bit slow, it will take more time to display that user interface. For that one, what I want to do is, I don't want to use this edit button. I don't want to move this entire user interface into the editable format. I want to move only this particular field into the editable format here. Only that annual revenue field I want to move into the editable format. Then how can we do that? When you place the mouse pointer on this field, it is indicating a pen symbol. Pen is for what? Writing. Nothing but this is an editable field. This is an editable field. This is an editable column. So if you want to modify this value, just double click on this column here. Just double click on this. Now this column is in editable format. So instead of this 50 lakhs, I am going to be entering the value as some 90 lakhs. Okay, 90 lakhs. Suppose if you want to modify some more columns here, like as some employees, number of employees. Double click on this column. I'm changing to some 1500. If you want to modify the rating value, just double click on this one. Now we can modify to some warm. I'm changing this one. Now it is representing this information. Now these three values will be represented with the help of the orange color. That means what? These changes you have made, nothing but these are the changes that you have done, but these changes are not saved back to the database. So that click on save button to commit these changes back to the database here. Now, in this case here, along with this orange color, it is displaying a small option. For example, here I don't want to change the rating value. I want to go back to the previous option, whatever it is. So this is undo option here. Now this symbol is undo option. Once you click on that, the previous value will come back over here. Okay. So if you want to modify, then click on old. So now once you're done with these changes, then click on save button to commit these changes back to the database here. Now once you click on save, these changes will be saving into the database automatically. So now it has modified that rating value to cold, employees to 1500, annual revenue to 90 lakhs here. Like that, upon modifying the record, we can modify by using this edit button, or we can able to modify by using that inline editing feature also. So these are the various operations we can able to perform by using this tab. Okay, by using this tab, these are the various operations we can able to perform over here. Okay, now, so in this case, how to see the records here? For that one, Salesforce is providing a user interface here that is called as, there is a control called as enhanced list view control. So now this is the enhanced list view control over here. So what exactly is enhanced list view control? How to use, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow's session, we'll see the enhanced list view control and their features, and how can we add our own filters inside this enhanced list view, which are called as list view options, or the filters. We'll see practically in tomorrow's session here. Okay, so do the practice on this one, whatever we have discussed today. Tomorrow we'll see the enhanced list view control, and then we'll see the some more concepts also, like as record ID concept and then the object ID concept also tomorrow. Okay.
You were saying